are 2.9 million New Yorkers who experience difficulty affording food, an astounding number and one that continues to increase as food costs skyrocket and the amount of food donated to help the poor drops. The slow economy and the loss of thousands of jobs have heightened the demand for food aid. Donated food from different agencies is shipped to the food pantries that distribute groceries. One of those food pantries is here at St. Peter's Church in the heart of Chelsea, where under the charge of the Reverend Alan Dennis, they serve approximately 1,600 people each month.
The food pantry represents a measure of our society of people who have not necessarily been discriminated against, but thought less of.
This food pantry has been around for more than 50 years. Among those who are now key to the daily operation of the pantry is Alice Blunt Fennell. She's been the director for 3 years.
This time is more of a challenge, because especially this time of the year, there's a bit of a shortage in volunteers. I get very creative.
In 2009, we were getting 15 people, 15 clients was a heavy day. Right now, today we did 70 clients.
The food pantry distributes food to its clients 3 days a week, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturdays, when clients can go to pick up their bag filled with groceries.
We signed a contract with the Food Bank for New York City. They give us, and I'll show you the guide, it's called Recommended Supplies, and we have to follow the food pyramid. So you have your dairy product, you have your cereal, you have your fruit, you have your vegetable, you have your starch, you have a protein.
The contents of the food bags are constantly changing.
Occasionally, the vestry, the people who run the church will look at the list and say, that's really not enough. Let's increase it. And they just did that this month.
Although the food bank in New York City is the main sponsor for this pantry with $1,800 given to it this month, that's not nearly enough money for the needs they have. And while they have never thought of closing, they have been forced to distribute food only 3 days a week.
Well, we would like to do this 7 days a week. And in that way, we can, if those who see a program like this, for example, would want to make that possible by sharing their resources.
To be able to operate this program, a whole team of people is required. Volunteers are always welcomed, and more hands are always needed. Also assisting, a group of teenagers who come to St. Peter's every Friday as volunteers to help put the bags together.
And you always have to be creative and thinking about more backup, and that's why I tell you, I don't always do the traditional things.
And that is exactly what we experienced this weekend as we joined other volunteers putting together 400 bags of groceries and helping deliver them to the people. After helping put together those bags of food, it was time to deliver them. We were not able to interview any of the clients for privacy reasons, and when they go to pick their bags, clients need only to sign forms. No other information can be asked. At times, there are up to 200 people waiting to get a bag.
Some of the stories are just heartbreaking. There's one little woman, doesn't speak very much English, but she comes in and there are donation envelopes out in the vestry, and every time she comes in, she takes one and she puts some money in it. Sometimes it's a dollar bill, crumpled up dollar bill. Sometimes it's just change. But she never comes in and takes a bag without leaving something.
And tell me something, what happens if someone comes on a Tuesday and it's desperate for food? Would you give them? What happens?
If they're desperate, yes. The pastor has told me we don't turn anyone away.
We will never turn somebody away in a mega emergency, but we will always refer somebody to the right place.
If the weather's bad, they'll have like a blanket. There's been some times when it's been snowing or raining and they'll be sitting in front of the rectory. So what I'll do then too is we always laugh because I tease them. I call them my mommies. They say, "Oh, mommy, you were here this morning." And the mommies, I take care of the mommies. I say, as soon as I get in and the legs are working good, I will bring you a bag. So then we kind of, we break the rule for the official opening time and we just open then whenever we can to keep the lines true.
11:35, working overtime because we're supposed to close at 11:30. And we got 99.99 signatures.
We just make sure we keep everything uniform because if not, the clients get upset to feel like they haven't been treated fairly or that one person got more than the other. So we make sure that we give out, we call it the adult version of a Happy Meal.
And after this week's bags were delivered, it was time to get back to the 400 bags being prepared for next week's distribution.
I apply for certain grants throughout the year. As a matter of fact, I have a few of them coming up now. And, you know, you put in your statistics and you give a little bit about your program and the accomplishments and your goals for the next fiscal year, and you just pray that you come through. This is a copy of the report, so you'll see there how many clients we served in 2012 so far. So January it was 1,202, I think it is.
3,982.
That's the cumulative from January to March.
The needs are not even close to being covered, and there is a lot of work to do. But for the people involved in this program, do not exactly think of this food pantry as a challenge.
It is more of a great gift to all of us than a challenge.
And as every year goes by, more and more food pantries have been forced to shut their doors. But not even goodwill is enough to keep a program like this running.